What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel, and this team we're playing with today is the Tampa Bay Bucks. And the Bucks, they finished 9-8 despite starting like 4-7 or something. They made the playoffs. They actually won a playoff game, and now they have a situation here, in my opinion, because they decided to give Baker Mayfield a long contract, which, not to say he didn't play good this year, because he did, but the thing about Baker Mayfield is he will play really good, and then he'll play like really bad the next season. He's so hit or miss, because he did the same thing with the Browns, and I feel like the Bucs are taking a risk with having him, be their quarterback for the next couple of years. Is it a good risk? It might be. I honestly couldn't tell you whether or not it's a good risk, because Baker Mayfield is just that much of a polarizing player. But yeah, they gave him a contract that was a long deal, and they're just putting their faith into him, and we have to see if that'll work out for him in the future. My question is he going to be able to elevate this team to Super Bowl contention? Because that's my biggest concern with him, because he's a good quarterback, but is he good enough? And I feel like that's what a lot of teams are faced with. And I think especially this team, because of, they gave him a contract and it's Baker Mayfield and he likes to be really hot and cold. Like, he reminds me of like a better version of like Ryan Fitzpatrick or something. Like, he's just like such a weird player when it comes to how he plays, and that's just how, he's perceived by the media and all that. And I just think, we just have to see. Was it because the Browns were just the Browns, or was it because it was him? And if it was because of him, can he fix it? Because, Baker's just such a, player. Like, he's literally the definition of, like, a player. Like, he's done just about everything you can think of. He had adversity. He had, he had a good rookie year, had a bad sophomore year, had a good junior year, or junior or third year. And then his fourth year, he got injured during the year. And, the Browns kind of just gave up on him after that. And people were kind of questioning on whether or not it was him or if it was because it was the Browns. And it's like, you never truly know when you look at it. You would think it's the Browns for playing him injured or whatever, but he also willingly played through the injury. It's not like they forced him to play. Like, he wanted to play through the injury to prove that he, cares. And I feel like that was just a big mistake by him, because he played a lot worse because he was playing throughout the injury. He eventually got traded from the Browns, or he didn't. I don't know if he got traded. It was supposed to be, he got traded. It wasn't for much, but he signed with the Panthers his next season, and he didn't do very good there. So they traded him mid-season to, it was the Rams, and then he had a spark there. And I think it was enough. It was enough for the Bucs to give him a chance this year, which they did. And it paid off. They made the playoffs. They had a rocky season in the first half, but they were able to rally and make it there. So good for them, because people were saying they were going to be like one of the worst teams and all that. I never thought they would be the worst team, but I definitely didn't expect them to like make the playoffs or win a division or anything like that. So they definitely overachieved in my book, and in a lot of other people's books too. And now we just have to see if they can elevate themselves, because that's a big challenge with a lot of teams. Sometimes teams will be in the playoff hunt and be good enough to make it to the playoffs, but they also, don't have enough to really elevate themselves to Super Bowl contention. And I think that's where the Bucs are at right now. I'm not saying they can't be Super Bowl contenders, but they're just at that crossroad right now. Because that's why, a Super Bowl window is so rare. Like, you have to have the right roster, you have to have the right coach, you have to have the right locker room. There's just a lot of shit that has to go right for you to be a Super Bowl contender. And even when it does, you still have to, just do everything you can to assure that you don't, mess any of that stuff up because it's really fragile if you think about it. I mean, it's just like, and sometimes you don't even win, and that'll really just, get to players' heads. I mean, a lot of times you'll have a good team that can't make it there, and then the players will get frustrated, want to leave and stuff, and it's just kind of like such a dilemma in the NFL, and that's why winning a Super Bowl is one of the hardest things to do in any sport. And I mean, this is why. I mean, it's just you are stuck at this crossroad, and that's where the Bucs are at. People were saying that the Jacksonville Jaguars last year were going to be one of the worst teams because they had Trevor Lawrence on his second year. They did something similar to what the Bucs did. They started 3-8. They won 6 in a row, made the playoffs, and won a playoff game. But then they didn't really elevate themselves the next year because they had the same record they had last year. And they actually kind of did it in reverse, too, because they started 8-3, and then they choked the second half and missed the playoffs entirely. So that's my fear with this team, because I feel like if they aren't careful, that is what can happen with them. Now, I think their roster is more talented than the Jags roster, so that could have something to do with it. And, there's a lot of other factors, too. I mean, Trevor Lawrence doesn't have nearly the weapons that Baker has. Baker has Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. I mean, his running game isn't very good, but, I mean, when your passing game is that, good, when you have that amount of talent on your wide receiver core, I think it kind of makes up for it. I'm not saying don't have a good running back, but, I mean, it can kind of mask the issue there. And it's just like, I think they did a good job, with the talent on the team, considering they weren't expected to do anything. And I mean, even in the midseason, I mean, people were saying that like Todd Bowles should be fired and all that, and he didn't listen to him, and he managed to make his team a playoff contender and a playoff winner. And they almost made it to the NFC Championship. They almost beat the Lions. They only lost by 8 points, and it was a close game. I mean, it's just like, so they realistically, I mean, you could argue this team should have made it to the NFC Championship if you were to believe the Lions got lucky or whatever in that game, which, I mean, I don't. But, I mean, it was promising that they even made it there, and it was a close game. But that's also what the Jags did. Like, the exact same thing. Like, it's so weird how similar these teams are when it comes to what the Jags did last season and what the Bucs did this season. And the irony, because they're both in Florida, so maybe it's just like a Florida team thing where you're good but not great, and you can't be a Super Bowl contender because of it. Because, I mean, I'm not going to talk too much about the Dolphins, but they aren't exactly like you could say they're a Super Bowl contender, but it's not like they've had playoff success or anything like that. So I don't know. I mean, all jokes aside, it's just like, you got to just think about it. And it's like, it just comes back to the question on whether or not, winning is really the best course of action. I mean, obviously it is. I mean, you're not going to like go out there and purposely lose games. I mean, I'd sound like a fucking idiot if I said something like that. And like, you obviously want to go out there and win your games and all that. But, sometimes winning games can kind of make your team have a false sense of reality or a false sense of hope. And sometimes they don't see the reality. And I worry this is what will happen to the Bucs because I'm assuming any team would build off of what the Bucs just did. I mean, if you don't do that, then yeah, you're definitely going to struggle. And like, I don't know, this team is weird. They're a good team, but are they a Super Bowl contender? I just have to see it. And it's like, my question is Baker Mayfield. Like, that's the biggest piece of the puzzle there. Todd Bowles, too. I mean, I'm not saying he's a bad coach, but is he a coach that's going to win you a Super Bowl? I don't know. And that's how I feel. Like, I feel about Baker and Todd Bowles kind of the same way. Like, they can get the job done, but can they make it, to the dance, the Super Bowl? And I mean, I don't know. It's just been a weird couple of years for the Bucs. They had Tom Brady. They actually did win a Super Bowl. And then, after that, it kind of went downhill. Because once Bruce Arians retired, they had Todd Bowles be the coach, and, people don't seem to think he's the guy, and I can honestly understand why that is the case. I mean, the guy had Tom Brady on his team last season, and he went 8-9. I mean, he won his division and all that, but, like, he went 8-9 with Tom Brady on the team. Like, that's not good. And it's not like they had a hard schedule or anything. I mean, their schedule was relatively, easy, and they still went 8-9. And I mean, I don't know. Maybe they just have to prove something to me, I feel like. Like, it's kind of like the Browns. So I said whether or not they're Super Bowl contenders. It's kind of like this, except they have another problem instead of the Browns. I mean, they're in a little bit of a better situation than the Browns because at least they still have the ability to build their team up. I mean, the Browns, you can make the argument no, but the Bucs, I still think they can get better. It's just, will they? That's the question. Because, I mean, that's, you just have to wait and see, and that's just how I feel about this team. And, I mean, they definitely need to work on their running game if they're going to be a Super Bowl contender, because that has been a problem. Like, every year since, 2021, I think they've had issues with their running game, because when Tom was on the team, they threw the ball a lot, and there's a reason why they did that. I mean, I'm not saying you shouldn't throw the ball, because you got Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, but, you got to run the ball a little bit. I mean, you can't just solely rely on your wide receivers. And, yeah, this team, I don't know, they're just at a weird crossroads right now where I just don't know what they're going to do. And no one does. I mean, you don't know how this team is going to act off of their season. Are they going to fix the issues they need to fix in order to be a Super Bowl contender? Or are they going to just pat themselves on the back like, oh, we went 9-8, won a playoff game. Yeah, we're a Super Bowl contender. We don't need to do anything else. Because if they do that, yeah, they're not Super Bowl contenders. But if they do the first thing, then yeah, they probably are Super Bowl contenders. And it also doesn't help that Baker Mayfield is on the team, because he is the sole definition of a player that would do what I just said, where he acts like all entitled and stuff and thinks that everything's going to go his way and all that. Because he has a history of doing that. And, this is just like, I don't know, it's weird. It's hard to explain, but, like, if you've watched Baker Mayfield, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, I don't think if you watch Baker, no question in your mind, you probably agree with all the stuff I just said. Now, if you've never watched Baker until, this season, then you're probably thinking, oh, you just hate the guy. Oh, yeah, you're just a hater or something. But, I'm not. I want the Bucs to succeed. They're a likable team now. I mean, they got young players. Well, actually, you're not super young. They got a couple young players. Antoine Winfield Jr. had a really good year. He should have made the Pro Bowl, but he didn't. Their defense definitely had some issues in the first half. They were able to pick it up a little bit in the second half to propel this team to the playoffs. And, but they still have their issues. I mean, their pass defense definitely could use some work. The run defense is phenomenal. They've always had a good run defense with Vita Vea on the front seven. So I will give that team props there. They have one of the best run defenses in the NFL, but their pass defense is murky. I don't really feel super comfortable about it. And I mean, people, I feel like, are just going to assume that this team will be Super Bowl contenders regardless of what they do in the offseason. I mean, they could still sign some people and all that, but what the hell is this team going to do in the draft? I couldn't even tell you. I mean, they need a running back. so they can run the ball and all that. Which it's so weird thinking that have a team with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin on the, receiving core, you'd think that the teams would be so focused on that where they could run the ball, but it's like they just can't do it. I mean, I don't really know how to explain this. I mean, they can pass the ball, and that's good, but you can't just only pass the ball. I mean, I'd say the same thing if they couldn't pass the ball and they ran the ball all the time. I mean, you just have to have a balance, and they haven't had a balance for a couple of years, and it's just like, you got to fix that. I mean, if you're going to be a Super Bowl contender and all that, you can't just be kicking the can and all that. You got to just accept the fact that your team has an issue and then do what you can to fix it. And we'll have to see if they do that. I'm going to, start talking about Madden now, as I think I've said just about everything I wanted to say about the Bucs. So we're going to go ahead and comment on this game so far. We're down by 14, and the Chiefs do have the ball. We'll see if we can win this game or not. Pass is caught by MVS, and he gets down to the 10-yard line, as our defense in this game hasn't been very good so far. And Isaiah Pacheco is going to get a rushing touchdown to put the Chiefs up by 20, maybe 21. And our offense has looked pretty flat in this game too. So we'll see if we can do something with this. Wide open is Rachaad White, as it looks like my opponent didn't bother to user his guy. I mean, he might have just set his controller down for a play or something, and we took full advantage of that, as I would hope any Madden player would. So yeah, now we got a touchdown. I mean, we didn't really have to do anything, but a touchdown's a touchdown. And we'll see if we can stop this offense, which we've been having very big issues stopping in this game. As it is 3rd down and 8, big play for the Bucs. So they can get a stop here. Maybe they can get some momentum, as Isaiah Pacheco's going to run it and get a first down. As that's a little ironic, because I commented on how good their run defense was, and they haven't been very good in this game at stopping Isaiah Pacheco. And this pass is caught by MVS. He's been an issue for this defense too. I mean, I don't know. It's Madden. Madden's weird. I mean, they'll have guys like Aaron Donald not be able to tackle someone like Marquise Brown or something. It's like you can't really base Madden off of real, NFL. If you do that, you're kind of dumb anyway, but that just reinforces that you can't do that. I mean, because they do have a good run defense. I mean, teams cannot run the ball to save their life against this team and all that, and you just in Madden, they just don't know that, I guess. Or maybe I just suck on defense or something. It's hard to tell. But it's halftime, and my opponent didn't even bother to kick a field goal or run a play or anything. So we're going to go into halftime down 28-7. We do get the ball at half, so maybe we can get some momentum or something. As you'll notice, we're at the 46, or we were at the 46. That's because my opponent, for whatever reason, decided to onside kick it, and obviously he didn't get it because we knew he was onside kicking. And yeah, that was weird that he did that. But we'll try to take advantage of it and get a touchdown here, as we'll hand off to Rachaad White, who takes this carry for about 3 yards. It'll be 3rd down and 7 at the 19. Baker back to pass, going to throw a pass, is caught by Russell Gage, as he's able to force his way in for a touchdown. As that was an angry run there by him, as he catches the ball, shakes off a couple of players, and gets a touchdown. As now we're only down by 14, so if we can, get a stop on defense, which we have yet to do, unless you count that one at the end of the first half, which I don't, because that was just luck. And this pass is caught by Travis Kelce, as he gets in for a touchdown, and now they're down by 20, or they're down by 21 again, because, their defense can't stop a nosebleed. I mean, they're just kind of sitting there letting the Chiefs do whatever the fuck they want, and we're just, sitting there. Don't want to do anything, guys. Our offense, I mean, they've been bad too, but, you've been worse. I mean, at least they've scored touchdowns. At least they're trying. I feel like, this team wasn't really trying on offense or defense in this game. And, we just have to hope they can pick it up and all that, because if they don't, then we most definitely are not going to win this game, which we aren't currently. But if we hope to come back and win, that will not be possible, as this pass is caught by Cade Otton, as that's pretty bad defense by my opponent there, as we take advantage of that, get a touchdown. Now we're down by 14 again. Now we'll see if our defense can do something besides give up a bunch of big runs and a bunch of big passing plays. Anything, guys? Are you guys going to try? 1st and 10. Okay, you didn't get a first down. Progress, I suppose. 2nd down and 5 at the 36. Play action for Mahomes. He's going to throw, and it's picked off by Levante David. Oh, wow. You guys got to stop. No way. I should, I don't know. You got to stop, and maybe if you keep doing that, we'll have a chance to win the game. You're giving the offense a chance to be down by 7 if they can get a touchdown here. We'll see if they can do that, as it looks like our offense is having a bit of a struggle here, as Baker way overthrows that ball. 3rd down and 22 at the 47. Baker Mayfield back to pass. He's going to throw, and this pass is incomplete. Russell Gage was not able to moss his defender there. 4th and 22. This is pretty much desperation time. We're going for it, and it's caught by Cade Otton. It was a good catch and throw there to keep the play alive and the drive alive. And it is Baker Mayfield, 1st and 10, missing a throw to Rachaad White. And yeah, that's Baker Mayfield for you. He just made one hell of a throw to Cade Otton on 4th and 22, and he missed a wide open check down. Yep, 3rd down and 10 at the 28. We're going to throw. Pass is intercepted, as that was an underthrow by Baker Mayfield, as Mike Evans probably would have gotten a touchdown if we would have thrown that out more, but I failed to do that a little bit, so I'm not going to blame Baker entirely on that, but, come on, dude. He's wide open. You got to hit that, and he didn't. As 1st down and 10, Mahomes gets sacked for the first time in this game to make it 2nd down and 20. Mahomes going to throw passes caught by Kelsey. It'll be 3rd down and 4. If we can get a stop here, we probably still have a chance. We'll see if we can do that. 3rd and 4, passes caught by MVS. And, yeah, I didn't think so, because nothing in this game, except for that last drive, has shown me that this team is even capable of getting a stop. So, yeah, 2nd down and 3 at the 42. Mahomes going to do a fake handoff, play action passes caught by MVS again, as he has just been having a day. It's we're just leaving him wide open every play, and, obviously the Chiefs aren't brain dead. They can figure out how to, do that since he's wide open. Maybe the Bucs defense needs to, get on top of that and, try to cover the guy. I know he's quick and all that, but, you're an NFL team, and you're supposedly, good at defense with your head coach and all that, and you're doing that. So, I don't know. Madden's a weird game. It could just be me. Could be Madden. Honestly, I couldn't tell you. I know NFL. I don't really know Madden super well when it comes to my play and on why random shit happens. So, I'll just stick to that and see what happens the rest of this game. 1st down and 10, Isaiah Pacheco running again, as the Chiefs can basically get out of here with a first down, as they'll hand off to Pacheco again. And we do stop them. It'll be 3rd down and 5. We'll see if the Chiefs do run here or if they pass. As they do a fake run, Mahomes going to throw. Pass is caught wide open is Noah Gray. As the Chiefs get another touchdown. As man, oh man, I don't even know what to say here. I can't even explain it. So we're just going to maybe get another touchdown here, and I guess we're in a shootout now, because now both teams have over 30 points, and we're going to do an onside kick, but it does not work out. And yeah, this game was over, and this game was probably already over in the first quarter when we were down by 21, or the second quarter, whenever it was. And yeah, I think the Chiefs are just going to get out of here and probably another touchdown, because there he is wide open again as I ran commit. That was my fault. And yep, they've scored over 50 points. And yeah, you're not going to win many games when you let your opponents score over 50 points. And yeah, that's just how the NFL is. as we get ourselves some garbage time stats, as Baker loves doing that, as we're going to throw to Mike again, but this time it was an overthrow by Baker Mayfield. 2nd down and 10, Baker Mayfield is going to throw, and it's caught by Palmer. Trey Palmer is going to get a touchdown, as my opponent is just playing bad defense too. But, I mean, hell, if you can score 56 points, you can probably afford to play some bad defense. And as for the offense that I'm playing as right now, could have done this earlier. We'd probably have a chance to win the game. And yeah, that's just really all I need to say about that. And Mahomes going to throw again to MVS, as he's going to have like 500 yards receiving or something. Like, he has just been unstoppable, and I can't even explain it. Like, we just have not picked up on the fact that maybe we need to double cover him and all that, and we're just sitting there letting him cook us up. As 1st and 10, we throw another pick, and yeah, but Chiefs have the ball back. We'll see if they get another touchdown, as they actually kick a field goal here, and they don't make it, and I don't know why they kicked a field goal there. It wasn't 4th down or anything, as this will probably be the last play of the game. 1st and 10, Baker throwing to Mike Evans, and he actually makes the catch in the end zone for a touchdown. And yeah, I mean, I guess if you had the Bucks over, or Bucks under, or Chiefs under in betting or something, maybe they were favored by, maybe the Chiefs were favored by 13 or something, and you needed that touchdown to put them within 13. So I don't know. Whatever, that was not a good game. The first game was a little better, and I'll see you next time.